I'm afraid we came to the end of this wonderful conference, and it's for me a privilege to thank you very much for your ongoing effort. Jerry, you are a star, but not only that, you are a spark. You are a spark, and you're inspiring us all. It's a privilege to know you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gerrit. Thank you. Okay, so everybody has interest in lunch, but there are two things before we depart. The second one will be Mr. Germanoff, who wants to say a few words. But first, what I usually do at the end is ask for some comments. Comments on how we can improve this conference for next year. There are always ways of improving. I don't want to take too much time, but some of you maybe have thought that something could be done differently next time to make for a better conference, and I would like to hear from you. So, please, I'll have my tablet here to write down your comments.
Yeah, so maybe everybody could introduce themselves for 30 seconds at the very beginning of the conference. What are you doing and what are you searching for? So we could know with whom to collaborate, and it would be easier to, meet each other.
Okay, so 150 people means 75 minutes, so that will take an hour to an hour and a half. Do you think that is still worthwhile?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Any comment on that idea? Before we... Yeah, a show of hands. How many think that's a good idea and how many are not so sure? Good idea? Okay, online beforehand. Okay. Okay, a comment, a question, or suggestion? No. Okay, please. I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
It's called Cafe International, so 6-7 people are sitting in tables, and maybe there will small discussions groups, and there you tell what are you doing, and one of those 7 people know with whom you are supposed to be connected, and then you make this 3 times 5 minutes.
You mean to do that at lunchtime, or to do that
just
ahead of time, or to do that special sessions for
I think during the first day, that from the first day on you are interconnected with everybody in some way. If in the table is somebody not sitting who is interested about your topic, but somebody knows somebody whom you have to meet or to be connected.
Okay, what do you think about that suggestion? Do you like it, not like it? Please. So your suggestion is that we don't need to formalize that. It's done anyway. Would that satisfy you? Okay. Okay. Other suggestions? Okay.
Yeah. I would like to see more discussion in general. This is a very high-powered audience, and just having time for 1 or 2 questions at the end seems like not enough, and I would like to have more organized effort to allow discussion between members.
Okay, this is really a matter of self-discipline, because speakers get up and they want to show as much data as possible, and so they exhaust all the times. Do you have any suggestion on how I can impose that kind of restriction?
A discussion group or a panel discussion.
Okay, panel on a theme. So that means fewer speakers, more panels. You like that idea? I'm sorry? After dinner panels. What do you think about that idea? Sleep panels. Will anybody come? Okay, panels.
I have...
Back, I'm sorry. please. Yeah.
Wait.
I just want to support what Glenn was just saying, in the sense that this data and this information is being presented to us, and then we have to go through a process of letting it land, and then each have our grid that we filter this information through, and then we respond to it. And sharing our responses as a collective mind, I think, is incredibly important, because the way that ideas develop is through this iron sharpening iron process. So, for example, not yesterday but the day before, a man over here stood up and he gave his response to the information that had been given. And it was a very deep thought. And so I think that what often happens is, from the front, very high level thinking is presented, but then, especially for the lay people, it is important that it gets translated and processed and delivered at a low level where it can be applied and taken over. So I really just wanted to support what Glenn was saying, is that if we can collectively come up with a way of managing the time so that people can share their responses and the meaning together in a kind of a contained and controlled manner, but that allows this collective mind to come together, then I think the power of our gathering would be magnified, because the meaning would be extracted, rather than each of us just sharing over lunch. Oh yes, what was your response to that? What was mine?
Brilliant. How do we do it? Yeah, if there are some concrete, practical ideas, I think it'd be great to do that.
I have a practical idea.
Yeah.
I have also, maybe I can,
Okay.
as chairman, also have put something on the table. I think in order to attract younger people, the price is a little bit too high. And younger people don't need this luxury accommodation. So maybe it's an idea for the next thing, to have a kind of split accommodation. The older people like me who can afford this luxury, and then for me next to a camping site or whatever. And then we can attract the younger generation, and we all know that the breakthrough are coming from them.
I think that's up to Mr. Germanov to address, and I think Maya will present that to him. But one moment. I mean, the question is one that he might like to answer. So if you communicate. James?
I would suggest for the invited speakers, you require that they include their email address. So if in the abstract I read something, that you find something of interest, you can contact those people ahead of time and make arrangements for communication. So having that email address there when you read the abstract, now I know I want to talk to John Doe, Jane Doe, whatever the case may be.
Okay, so here's a question for you, Maya. Is it possible to distribute email addresses of everyone to everyone, or not?
No, for the invited speakers, when they submit an abstract, they must include their email address. So
Okay.
now everybody's reading pre-conferences. Now they can contact people of interest.
Okay. Please. Yeah. No, it's for you.
The similar thing, before the European law was changed, there were participant lists at conferences. What they now do in Europe, when you sign up, you can put a checkbox. Do you mind if your name and email is shared among the other participants?
Is that okay? For you? Okay, that's a good idea.
Could you please tell him about this software we can actually
Well,
handle everyone?
Any more comments?
We have one more here.
Yeah, guys, so I heard someone would like to go to the woods, and it's very nice. It's going to be very cheap. Who is going to feed you? Who is going to do the broadcast and stuff? So instead, I will probably have to return to 21st century. We can actually have an access to an application for the iPhone or for whatever the phones you have, and it will be easy to manage everything you have in mind. So you can, first of all, exchange all the files. Then you don't have to shoot them off the screen. And we're working on the biggest available opportunity for your people, trying to solve all these problems. So please, if you do need this application, please raise your hands. Almost everybody wants it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay, any further, I know everybody's hungry. Anything else we should do to improve the conference? Okay.
Yeah, so something that I've been thinking about being somewhat of a lay person at this intense, my physiology undergrad is not keeping up. But there's this, so I was stirring one morning with the idea of part of what I'm doing is producing the show, a TV show and things like that. So I'm in that space of, here we are in this conference with some of the greatest minds in this space. And if we can create it in a way that has principles and guidelines to delineate it to people and communicate it to people that are not in this space, then on a massive scale, and a bigger scale, and move that needle, then we have a greater audience of receptivity to then support everything that we're doing. So everything needs an engine, and if you can communicate that in a way that someone will get it, then you have greater level of investment, you have greater interest, because everyone in here has to communicate their message to someone to get support. So not only from an individual perspective, you need research dollars, you need that support, you need to communicate across lines to other colleagues, but we all need this incredible information to be communicated to the masses. So I was thinking, and this is a bigger thing, and maybe something we can get going by the time next year. So I was thinking similar to that of like the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, even though let's keep the corruption and that aside for a second. But the idea and the theory is around it is a massive intellectuals and people and scientists coming up with broad perspectives of guidelines. And here we are. We have the people in this room that have some of the greatest research and potential guidelines and principles that we can start laying down in very simple terms, in terms of what do we all agree on right now, okay? For example, water is contaminated. We're outside of the normal vortational movement of streams, and there's contaminants. So number one, we need to deconstruct water and reconstruct it. That kind of thing. So what are the guidelines that we can start laying down to then take that information from a group collective and deliver that communication to the large amount of people? That's where I'm thinking. And if that resonates with anyone, I'd love to start helping and coming up with those guidelines that we all can essentially agree on without getting too far in the weeds and losing messages.
Well, you're the right person to nucleate that. Peppino. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. I agree very much with what, sorry, I do not, yeah, okay, he was saying. And I would also, you see, we are scientists. And we are also, we have a citizenship in this world, apart of each our own nations, countries from which we came. So there is, we cannot forget about the richness of water, because we studied and we said it is crucial to life. So together with such suggestion, I would say I do not know in English what could be a nice way to put it, but in Italy we had a referendum, and the theme was acqua bene comune, water is a common good, and cannot be monopolized by some part of the country or by some companies or whatever. So I think this information, this how to say, focusing on this problem that water cannot be monopolized by nobody in the world, but belongs to all people belonging to the world, I think this is the starting point of everything we can do. So I would like to have, I agree, a sort of a document which is our manifesto, I don't know in English, our proposal which involves all our life and other people's life. And this is also why we should be able to communicate in a very clear way and simple way what we study, what we find, what we doubt, because we have a lot of doubt, and so on. But the starting point is that water is life, and life cannot be a trademark by anybody.
If you would like to... If you would like to nucleate that effort, I think you'd have a lot of followers. Ernst?
Exactly in this sense, there is the Blue Water Community created by Maud Barlow, Canada, and they are gaining towns, universities which adhere to this Blue Water Community, exactly building up this kind of rules, questions, and conscience. And I think being in connection with this Blue Water Community would be at the same time a vector for communication of our contents.
Excellent idea. Thank you. I think we need to bring this to a close very soon, otherwise hunger will take over. Any urgent last-minute comments, Nigel?
Well, I agree quite a lot with the comments made by the last few speakers. I do nevertheless feel that in this community we don't have a complete unity of agreement as to many different topics. So I don't think it is right for any individual or organization to sort of hijack this wonderful organization for one specific political or whatever objective. I think that's one of the part of the richness of this conference, that we do have a diversity, and we need to keep that diversity and not say, oh no, this conference is about this. Yeah. And I was slightly concerned about your point, because the contamination of water, yes, I very much agree with you about that, but I don't think that particular topic is something you could say, that came out of this conference, because I don't believe it did. But it's something I'm very concerned about. But that's an independent thing that should be dealt with separately from this conference.
Sorry, I would like to add something, otherwise some misunderstanding could arise from the last... Yes. No, I agree perfectly. This is not, we should be very careful to avoid any specific political involvement. Nevertheless, there are basic principles which do not belong to politics, belong to the people living on the earth. One of these principles is life. Life cannot be touched by anybody. Water is life, so nobody can control life. Nobody should have the property of water. This is the point. And this blue water, I don't know, community is concerned about that independently from any political. I mean, let me be more explicit. We can say that, because why not? Monsanto has tried to put trademark on tomatoes. Something like that. This is crazy. This is just crazy. We should oppose to such thing, because I oppose to such thing. Because I study water, I study tomatoes. And tomatoes seeds cannot be property of nobody. This is has nothing to do with politics. Has nothing to do with market ideals, or I say ideals is already too much. But has nothing to do with nothing. Has to do with life. Nobody can put a trademark on life. That is the point. Life is water. if we say the life and we do not understand that water is life and life is water, okay, we are just losing our time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ted, last comment on this, and then we move to Mr. Germanoff.
So much. It's been quite an honor to share this wonderful time with everyone here, and I want to thank you so much. Two things I'll be working on during the coming year is promoting next year's conference, as well as, with the help of Sergey, creating a water channel on YouTube for everyone to have a voice in their opinions about water and also scientific research. Second thing is that I've started a working group on creating a quantum-based, water-based computer for the future. I'm in touch with Professor Einstein. He's on board with it and will help us find it, and there's several other scientists here who will join. You're welcome to email me at outofthisworld1150 if you'd like to join in it. We hope to have a panel discussion on it next year.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now a few comments by Mr. Germanoff and the man who's responsible for bringing us all together, his generosity.
Ну, я хотел бы поблагодарить всех присутствующих здесь, которые уделили внимание этому событию.
I want to thank everyone presenting here thank you for your time, thank you for coming here, for your attention to this event.
Ну, во-первых, я хотел бы назвать фамилию Джерри Поллога, профессора Поллога, который создал колоссальный по своей значимости для человечества продукт.
I want to thank Jerry Pollack, who created a very important product for the humankind.
Это продукт – результат интеллектуальной деятельности Джерри Поллога и всех участников.
This product is a result of intellectual activity of Jerry himself and all the participants of Water Conference.
Но он лидер.
But he is the leader of this community.
В этот продукт интеллектуальной деятельности входят несколько составных частей.
This product has several parts in it.
Первое – это конференция, где сконцентрированы научные здания. Из разных стран приезжают спикеры, докладывают о научной подоснове вот этой нетрадиционных дел.
First part is conference sessions that concentrates all fundamental knowledge from all over the world. So this is pure science.
Той новой науки, которая подвергается скепсису и отвергается традиционной или я ее называю еще ортодоксальной.
This is new science that is perceived quite skeptically by people from Orthodox science.
Здесь же проходит выставка, на которой представлены технологии и приборы уже реально работающие, которые используют то, что отвергается вот этими людьми, которые живут, наверное, предыдущей эпохой.
Another part of this general product is an exhibition where new devices and technologies are presented. So while people from Orthodox science deny the results of this new science, other people already show the real technologies and real devices that already work based on this new science.
Здесь проходил семинар, на котором разработчики технологий и различных девайсов, устройств этих комментировали, как можно эти технологии использовать, как применять, где проведены исследования. То есть они комментируют широчайшие возможности их разработок.
The third part of this product is seminar where the developers of these technologies and devices commented the possibilities of practical application of these devices and technologies.
Здесь проходил воркшоп, где Сергей Кермах демонстрировала приборы, которые регистрируют те явления, с которыми работают ученые. То есть наглядная демонстрация, что это никакая не фантастика, это реальные дела, которые можно посмотреть на приборах.
The first part is a workshop that was here yesterday, where Sergei Kernbach demonstrated the devices that register these phenomena studied by scientists. So everyone could see himself or herself that this is a real phenomena, something really happening in the nature. So this is not fantastic.
Здесь сконцентрирована была такой объем знаний, критическая масса, которая начинает уже выплескиваться наружу.
So the amount of knowledge is so intense here that it starts to come out of this local community to the outside.
Но сегодня каждый из вас работает по отдельности и как бы на самого себя.
But now every one of you still kind of works for himself inside a small laboratory or some community.
Это маленькая группа людей в разных странах, в различных институтах, но это маленькая группа, чьи новые познания, то, что они предлагают, не воспринимаются окружающей средой.
So now the knowledge developed here is not accepted by a wide audience all over the world.
Поэтому я предложил некоторым спикерам, разработчикам технологий, устройств, давайте мы сконцентрируемся, совместно будем работать в продвижении этих новых знаний, о научных знаний, о технологиях, о приборах для широких масс общественности, людей.
So I suggest to you, to the scientists, to concentrate our efforts to work together to disseminate all this knowledge to the world.
То есть мы выбрали конкретную точку, на которой будем все концентрироваться.
So we need to choose the points to concentrate on.
И эта точка конференция, от которой все идет. Это научные представлены, научные результаты, исследования. Мы концентрируем внимание всех на конференции.
So the conference is the main point to concentrate everyone's attention on it.
Но дальше по цепочке идет то, что я здесь называл воркшоп, выставка, семинар. То есть, если люди видят, что это серьезные исследования, научные публикации, то они могут смотреть дальше, как эту науку в прикладное применение, какую она может принести пользу.
So workshops, seminars, and exhibition are the next steps. This is how people can see the real application of the knowledge presented here.
Вы все знаете YouTube.
You all know YouTube.
Значит, в YouTube есть такое цепочки, видели? Цепочки. Когда нажимаешь, и все, что к этой теме относится, человек видит.
So there are kinds of chains in YouTube. When you choose some video, you can see related videos or similar videos in the suggested list.
У нас на нашем канале в YouTube будет представлена WaterConf.
So we will have the Water Conference YouTube channel.
Будут представлены все спикеры.
All talks from here will be presented there by all speakers.
Заинтересовало, кликают сначала на конференцию, посмотрели список, затем заинтересовало Ценкова, профессор из Японии.
If someone gets interested in a special talk, he can go further and discover more about the speaker, about the affiliation of the speaker. So, for example, someone likes Rumiana's talk and then follow her other presentations, videos.
Кликают на Румяну Ценкову, и вся ее, то, что в интернете есть, все, что есть в Ютубе, концентрируется на этой цепочке.
So people can see the whole chain of all videos related to Rumena, for example.
Да. Человек видит профессор, университет, Япония, выступления в различных статьи, все, что можно найти в интернете, мы сосредоточиваем на ее цепочке.
So everything related to the speaker will be concentrated and in this chain related to some particular speaker, and all these chains come to one channel water conference.
Кто заинтересовался прибором, который разработана, аквафотоника, он может посмотреть презентацию аквафотоники на семинаре, который мы здесь тоже проводили.
Or, for example, someone gets interested in a device developed by Aquaphotonics, so he can go ahead and discover further information about this device and this company.
Это касается всех элементов, которые включены в нашу схему.
So this relates to all parts, all elements included in the event.
Мы не выбираем никаких целевых групп. Мы доносим информацию до максимального количества людей. 10 миллионов, 100 миллионов, неважно.
We don't choose any focus groups. Our goal is to give this information to maximum amount of people, to tens of millions of people.
А в этой группе есть ученые, потребители, инвесторы, предприниматели, люди, которые заинтересовали какие-то конкретные исследования. Они могут поддержать ученого финансово для развития исследований и продвижения его быстрее.
This group includes scientists, investors, entrepreneurs, consumers. So someone might be willing to support some specific research to invest in some experiments.
Я провел переговоры, примерно 20 человек, спикеров, я говорю, и разработчиков технологий устройств.
I had negotiations with about 20 people developing new devices.
Все говорят, да, время пришло проинформировать максимальное количество людей о том, что мы делаем и какая научная основа этого, наших действий.
And everyone says, yes, it is time to inform as many people as possible about the new technologies and scientific background lying behind that.
Значит, мы привлекли технических специалистов, потому что, конечно, был первый вопрос, а можем ли мы это вообще сделать?
So the first question was, how can we do that?
И нам программисты, технические специалисты сказали, да, есть решение любого вопроса, который возникнет в ходе реализации.
And we have technical specialists that can solve any technical issues during the implementation of this project.
Значит, техническим руководителем, кто будет осуществлять техническую реализацию этого проекта, это вот Сергей Васильев.
Sergey Vasilyev will be the technical director of this product. You can see him behind. He was helping you with the technical stuff all these days.
Который организовал трансляцию.
He organized the broadcast of the conference.
Он имеет все необходимые знания.
He has all needed skills for that.
Значит, у нас включились, вот здесь Теодор Мач присутствует. Значит, он включается, у него есть канал, есть телевидение, на нем, главное, он умеет преобразовать научное представление, которое здесь делается, в понимаемый для простых людей язык.
So Theodore, who has his radio channel and TV channel, has got involved in this project. So he's the one who can translate the scientific information into the form understandable for common people.
То есть он переводчик, или, как говорили раньше, толмач, который может сделать перевод того, что делается вот здесь, презентация, на понятным людям язык.
So he's kind of interpreter from scientific language to common language.
Точно так же у нас по всем направлениям определены люди, кто будет у нас консультантом по разным направлениям.
We have a great team. We have consultants for different fields.
Значит, весь проект будет реализовывать некоммерческая благотворительная организация Фонд ДСТ Болгария.
This project will be developed by a non-commercial organization, Fund DST Bulgaria.
Чтобы не было восприятия, что мы пытаемся нажиться, какие-то у людей вызвать недоверие неправильными намерениями. Все некоммерческая благотворительная организация, Фонд ДСТ.
So yeah, this is non-commercial organization. We are not trying to earn as much money as possible, so our mission is to spread the word about the new science.
Мы уже приступили к практической реализации.
We already started implementation.
Все, кто в команде по реализации этого проекта, они будут проводить онлайн-конференцию в скайпе на следующей неделе.
Every member of this team will have a Skype call next week.
Я прошу всех, кто заинтересован, включиться.
If you want to join, you can also join this Skype conference.
То есть задача перед каждым стоит привлечь внимание к конференции.
So the goal for each team member is to draw more attention to the conference.
А мы, раскручивая конференцию, к которой привлечено внимание, привлекаем внимание ко всем вам.
And this will draw attention to all of you.
То есть концентрация на общее, привлечение внимания к конкретному.
So we can first concentrate on the common success, and then everyone will gain something from this success.
Благодарю за внимание.
Thank you for your attention.
I guess we're done. Time for lunch.